Thanks for having me, guys. It's a huge honor to be here, especially homegrown, you know, hometown, home city. It's a very good feeling. And again, man, I'm very humbled that you guys invited me to be a guest, man. Thank you, guys.
Yes, man. I'm like a huge follower, bro, of everything you're doing right now. I know a lot of things are going on recently. I mean, can you tell us a little bit what you got going on recently?
Yeah, man. I mean, we try to always the goal has always been the growth of mixed martial arts in Laredo. You know, it's not being done. I'll put on the pants and say, besides me, nobody else is doing it. And if somebody else is doing it, they're not doing it at the capacity that we're doing it in. You know, so just yesterday we had a UFC fighter, an active UFC fighter, come down to my gym, give a little seminar. You know, CJ Vergara. CJ Vergara is also born in Laredo. You know, he was born in Laredo. He moved to San Antonio about middle school or whatnot, started his training over there, pretty much did all his mixed martial arts career. But he's a Laredo born, you know, he's a Laredo product. So I figured, hey, man, what better than to bring a UFC fighter that was born in Laredo to Laredo to give a little back, you know? And that's what it's all about, man. So we had him yesterday. We had a real good turnout. Everybody was excited. Everybody learned some stuff, you know. So it was really fun, man. It was that's one of the things we had going on yesterday, man. Yeah.
Wow. I was just telling Ovi, we had a guest that said this and it really stuck in my mind. I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of people that say in order to make it, you have to get out of Laredo. Porque aquí en Laredo no la hace. What do you think about that? Is that true to a certain degree, or what has to be changed so that way we could change that?
Open mind, an open mindset is what needs to change. Laredo still has a very close mindset in everything, not just martial arts and everything. Every other city that I've trained in, I started my martial arts career, a mixed martial arts career in Dallas, then in Corpus Christi. Back when it started, it was always the same. It was my gym, and that's it. You know, I don't care about everybody. It's my gym, my team. That's all I train with. People were getting stuck. You know, you would just reach a certain level. That's it. That's what you're gonna get. When they started cross training, you had gyms and other gyms get together and you know what? Let's cross train. Let's get your best fighters, my best fighters. We get a little training together. No bad blood. Yeah. The objective was to grow. Mm-hmm. Once that started happening, you started getting fighters send out to the UFC, send out to Bellator, send out everywhere. Because now your skill level is changing. Now you're pushing yourself to train with other people that you don't necessarily see every day. Yeah. I hold invitations every weekend for people to come spar at my gym. And I said, doesn't matter what gym you are from, no bad feelings, leave your egos at the door. Let's grow. Let's get better. Nobody shows up. Yeah. Nobody shows up, you know, but it's Laredo's still very close-minded. Even yesterday we had a real good turnout. And I know there was a lot of people from my social media that when we would put the schedule for the event, they liked the event and they really wanted to go. And I mean, I know people have been following CJ for a long time, but when the seminar came, they didn't want to go because their coaches don't like me. So, okay, because we don't like him, we're not going to go. So CJ was like, yeah, man, like we expected a little bit more people, but he was happy. I was like, it's not you, man. It's the hate they have for me. That's why they don't come. But it has nothing to do with you. It's the hate they have for me that they don't come.
Having someone from Laredo accomplish that, just having your fighters do that, that's why I said, wow,
yeah, man.
You doing that in your gym? Man, I could only imagine the feeling. I just wanted to go take a picture. Imagine training with him, learning his techniques, and then seeing yourself as you could be there.
Yeah, no, right? And not his philosophy. I mean, he was also saying his philosophy, a lot of the things that got him started, you know. So it's all of that is awesome for my fighters to hear, you know. All of that I also lived through, you know. I mean, the only thing I never did was get to the big show, you know, to get to the UFC. I fought in Bellator, I fought in LFA, which are just as big, you know, but they're not considered the big show. So that's always a knock on me. When everybody always throws out my accomplishment, you always have that typical grade, oh, well, he didn't make it to the UFC. Yeah. You know, yeah, but I made everything else, you know. So, I mean, I did everything else. And at least I'm trying to push on. But a lot of the stuff CJ was saying, I could relate. You know, he's been through so much stuff to get through where he's at. And one of the quotes he said, it really stuck to me. He said, "Suffering is the best way of self-improvement." So when you're suffering, you know you're improving. If you're suffering at something, you know you're improving at whatever it is you're doing because you're busting your butt. You're having a hard time doing whatever it is that you're doing. So that's only going to produce you to get a lot better at whatever it is you're trying to do. So it's true, man. You got to go through hell to experience the good stuff, you know. So
exactly,
that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, we're all nice guys. I mean, I'm a real laid back guy. I've been told I'm very intimidating, and I am. I mean, the people that don't know me, I guess I could be intimidating. But once you know me, I mean, I like to call myself a closet nerd You know what I mean? Talk to me about Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I collect action figures as my hobby, you know? So, I mean, I like to consider myself a closet nerd, you know?
Sonny
when-
Luque is human, guys.
I am human, man. I am human. You know, when we go to bars or something, you always have the random.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
okay, when I was in high school, yo no quedaba todos los vatos. Y que it's like, oh, man. Like, I don't want to talk about fighting,
Yeah.
man. Talk to me about video games. Talk to me about something. You know,
exactly.
you know, but yeah, man, you get that a lot.
If you were to describe yourself to somebody that doesn't know you, who is Sonny Luque? What is Sonny Luque, and why is Sonny Luque Sonny Luque?
It's, I mean, I'll tell you, shit, man, we'll go way back. If you're high school, coming out of high school, I was lost. I was that typical huerquito that all I wanted to do was party,
Yeah.
las rucas, the girls, you know, get high, you know, that was my thing, you know. That was when, man, I'm old. I'm 41. So that was when going to Nuevo Laredo was still safe. You know, we would go every weekend. I know Felipe would go every weekend too. My homeboy. But yeah, it was normal to do that. So that was my mentality. That was back in 2001. That was when everything started going to shit. You know, everything started going bad allá in Nuevo Laredo. A lot of my friends did get killed. I got shot a couple of times too. You know, I was hanging with the wrong crowd. So I kind of told myself I wanted a way. I wanted a way out. I tried to join the military. They wouldn't take me because I had a criminal record at that time, so they wouldn't take me. I moved to Dallas, and that's where I found out mixed martial arts. But it's who I am, and I mean, I was just a lost kid. I was a lost kid that nobody gave anything for me. Everybody, whoever would say anything about me that knew me back then, dead or jail. You know, that was the only thing I was expected of me. Sonny Luque, dead or jail. You know, I was never really good at school. You know, I was never the kid with the high grades. I was athletic. I love sports. That was the only reason I would go to sports, you know. But after football, basketball season, you wouldn't find me in school. I was skipping all the time, going to Nuevo Laredo, you know, like that was it. So, I mean, I was a lost kid. By miracle, man. I mean, I call it fate. I call it fate that the military didn't take me, that I ended up going to Dallas. I was window shopping at a little shopping center, and now it's kind of like a business like mine, that it's just a huge front window, so I could see what was going on. And there was a whole bunch of guys that kind of looked like me now, all tatted up, all bald, beating the crap out of each other, you know. And I was like, shit, man, what are they doing? I need to go see what's up. So I went inside. I asked the lady that, hey, I want to try out or whatever. The lady, bless her heart, she was like, yeah, you just need to sign up. The beginner classes are blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. I'm from Laredo. This was in Dallas. I'm from Laredo. In Laredo, we don't take beginner classes. We know how to scrap. We know how to get down in Laredo. 20 minutes of arguing back and forth. Okay, yeah, no, beginner classes. No, yo, no. The owner comes in, man. Guy Mesger, legendary MMA fighter, comes in. Make him sign the waiver. So I was like, oh shit. So all right. So I signed the waiver. Long story short, man, they gave me the beating of my life, bro. They gave me the beating of my life, bro.
You were like, I should have taken the
Bro, picture a rag doll, like when a dog gets a rag doll. I was a rag doll, bro. They had me, man. I had one round, man. I went with the guy. I was maybe about 5'3", 5'4" at the most. And I was like, all right, this is the round. This is the one I'm gonna win, man. This is the one I'm gonna win. I had no idea what the fuck wrestling was, man. But I mean, wrestling. You tell me wrestling. I come from Laredo. I'm thinking of La Parca, Octagon. You know, like that's what I'm thinking about wrestling. I had no idea about Olympic wrestling, college wrestling. So the bell ring. This kid does a level change, grabs my legs. Next thing I know, I'm completely turned around in the air, slamming me. I was like, wow, bro, like this little dude was on me like a spider monkey, man. So I was like, I couldn't get him off of me. But that did the complete opposite that it does to most people.
Yeah.
Most people get their tail tucked in between their legs, walk away, never come back.
Yeah.
That gave me a, like, you know, that light bulb and stuff. I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I need to do. Because I had nothing. So I was like, this is what I need to do. So I kept going back every day. I took the beginner classes. I took the beginner classes, man. But I kept going. I kept going every day, man. And this was I already had a martial arts background, but I wasn't familiar with mixed martial arts, with MMA. So that was it. That was the beginning of it, man. You're talking about 2001, 2002. And it's never stopped since then, man. I didn't think I was going to make a career out of it. I was just trying to find myself, you know. I just needed, where do I belong? Where does Sonny Luque belong? You know, what is it for him? And God has opened the door and has showed me that this is what you're supposed to be doing, you know. And I know I'm on the right track, man. I've helped a lot of kids out. I've helped a lot of young men that had the same history as me, troublemakers, in and out of jail, you know. So I know I'm in the right track, man. I know I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, man, changing people's lives, man. Yeah, that's amazing,
Yes, sir.
bro. That was a lot. It just blew my mind,
That's
bro.
deep, right?
That's deep. That's deep, man. Usually Miguel has a question here, but he's even like,
Yeah, I was like,
dude, that's amazing, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
amazing.
Yes, sir.
especially
And
because we're big like on destiny, finding who you are and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
really
Yes, sir.
just perfect for
Yes, sir.
do you have family in Dallas or like
My sister was
awesome.
living in
That's
Dallas.
why I was asking in the first place. Like, how did you get to that specific
Yeah.
place?
Yes.
You know, or like, that's what I want to go. Like,
Yeah.
you got there.
My sister,
That's
yeah, she
amazing.
lives in Dallas.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's go move over there. And man, it was just fate, man. Like I said, it was just fate.
the whole time you were saying that story in my head was like, okay, if Sonny Luke didn't go to Dallas, you would have never seen that. So you would have been stuck
Yeah.
here, possibly like you
Exactly.
said.
Exactly. Dead or in jail, man.
Yeah.
Dead or in jail.
Now,
Exactly.
Did you ever have like a fascination though for like the martial arts and like in movies and stuff like that? Because I know I did. I was like a fanatic,
yeah,
bro.
man.
Like Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris, like that
Oh,
was like
yeah,
legend to
man.
me.
Game of Death.
Oh,
man.
and then
Oh,
Steven
yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Oh yeah, bro.
That's a bad motherfucker. Steven Seagal, bro.
Woo.
And he knew his shit. Right?
Aikido, man. Aikido.
Yeah, Aikido.
Legit
I just
Aikido
literally
master.
saw a video of him like the other day. And he's just going at it with some guy.
Yeah, legit
Showing
Aikido
his
guy, man.
skills, bro. Yeah.
Legit Aikido guy. Believe it or not, one of my idols growing up was Van Damme.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Man, blood sport and kickboxer are two of my biggest inspirations for being what I do now. You know,
Dang,
I would
bro.
see it as a kid and I was like, that's what I'm going to do when I grow up. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know it existed, but I knew that's what I wanted to do.
I was fascinated
And
by that.
little would know that I did become that. You know, but
Yeah, exactly, man.
but it's like,
Bloodsport.
like,
That's
it's
my
like-
life, bro.
It's like, whoa, man. But yeah, man, Van Damme was a huge inspiration for me growing up, man. Yeah. Now I could probably whoop his ass, but I mean,
Yeah, no.
but I mean, he was a huge inspiration for me,
Yeah.
man. He was a huge inspiration growing up. This is a deep one, man. I mean, and I'm full of cliches. So this was my first title fight. It was the first time I actually fought for a championship belt. I had a lot of hype coming up, man. I had a lot of hype. I think I was undefeated at that time. I was still relatively young in my career, already professional. I had a lot of hype. I had my first professional, not first professional fight, but for my first title, professional championship belt. I fought a Mexican Muay Thai world champion that was fighting MMA. So I thought we were gonna bang, you know, we're gonna throw strikes or whatever. Fight starts. I mean, long story short, man, I lost that fight. I lost my first title fight. It was a hell of a fight, you know. I mean, I fought my ass off, but I lost. I went back to the locker, man. I locked myself out. I didn't want to come out because I was ashamed, bro. I was ashamed. I was crying. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, no bitch. I was crying. I was crying in the locker room. I didn't want to come out because I was ashamed. I was ashamed that people were gonna see that I lost, and I didn't want that, man. So I literally stayed in the locker for like a good hour. I was the main event. So I was like, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be gone by the time I get out. Typical Rudy moment, you know, like I get out of the door, have a whole bunch of people. Not my people, because I fought in the other dude's hometown. You know, I was fighting in Mexico, the other dude's hometown. So you had a whole bunch of people waiting outside the locker room. Typical slow clap type, you know, like everything typical, man. But it was, I learned the big cliche that win or lose doesn't matter. You know, if you really go out there and fight your ass off, like, you know, you leave it all out there in the cage, leave it all out there in the ring, fans are going to know. Fans are going to notice that. They're going to know, like, hey, este vato no ganó. But he gave it his all, man. Like he gave it his all. He put his life on the line, you know. And that brought me a huge following and a lot of I have a huge following in Mexico, and it was mainly that fight was what started it, and that kind of defines my style. I guess that's where the name Loco comes out. I mean, I don't mind if you hit me because I'm gonna hit you too.
Yeah.
So it's that's where I'm a fan friendly fighter. You know, I'm gonna go in there. You know, I might get busted up, I might get beat up, but so is the other guy. You know, so that's fun to watch.
And Sonny, man, I'm sorry. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just to be in that damn ring, bro, in that octagon, nobody like. 95, no matter of fact, 99% of people would not step in there, bro.
You're right.
Just being in there is amazing to
You're
me.
right, man.
And I saw one of your fights. I mean, I saw several of your fights leading up to this, but I saw one of them where like you had it, bro. You had it, man, and you were taking over everything. It was one little trip because that's what happens in a fight.
Yeah.
One little trip and got you. And
Yeah.
I know that disappointed because you
Yep.
had your head down. I said, man, you had that, brother.
Yep.
If you only knew how fucking proud of you I was at that moment. Like, dude, you were a fucking fight because he had it, bro.
Yeah.
It was that little trip, and that's what happens in a fight, though, bro.
Mixed martial arts. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I
And
say it all the time.
bro.
One little mistake could cost
Exactly.
throw the whole fight, and I teach that to my fighters all the time. And it's a sport where you got to be in your p's and q's. You got to be aware of everything at all times. Because like you said,
Yeah.
one little mistake. There's another one I can remember too, man. This was national TV too. I lost that fight too. I defended the takedown, and just because I should have turned left, but I turned right. And that's what cost the whole fight. If I would have turned left, I would have gone out from wherever I needed to get out, and I would have ended up on top. We would have kept fighting the way I wanted to fight. But my dumbass turned right instead of turning left. That allowed the guy to take me down. That allowed the guy to finish his. It was like one little mistake like that, man. So that's the beautiful thing about the sport. But like a lot of people say, it's very unforgiving. The sport is very unforgiving. So yeah.
I was talking to Ovi and I had a question. I was like, us as humans, we're emotional humans. We're emotional. And there's that like, are you a lover or are you a fighter type of thing. Me, I would say I'm a lover. Like if I'm beating up somebody up, me, I know I'm gonna feel guilty. I'm gonna be like, shit, bro, like, are you okay? Do you have that like after a fight and you beat the shit out of the guy? Like, do you feel bad? Like, hey, bro, like good fight and stuff like that? Or are you the opposite? Like, yeah, like you got shitted on. Like what is your what are your emotional, roller coaster rides that you take in the ring?
No, that's a good question, and that's where the martial art way of life comes into play. There's your typical malandro ghetto guy in the street. Oh yeah, I'm tough. I fight. Blah 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 blah. And then you got people like me that have literally spent a whole lifetime devoted to martial arts. Training martial arts or whatnot. And like you were saying, any guy that gets in that cage, any guy, my opponent or whoever, if you did the time to get your ass in that cage, I'm gonna respect you because I know you did similar of the stuff I had to do to get in that cage, and that alone validates respect. You know what I mean? I know you had to cut weight. I know you had to sacrifice going out with your friends, going out with your girlfriends, maybe funerals, maybe weddings. These are all things that I've missed, your Christmases and all that. If you're training for a fight, there's no Christmas, there's no tamales, no. You're training for a fight. You can't cut your diet, So anybody that does that, and I mean, it's a fight, we're fighting. We're trying to hurt each other, It sucks, but that's the business we're in. So that's always in the back of our head, This could be the very last time I ever fight or I ever do something because injuries, death does happen, and it's a risk we're willing to take. So again, that alone merits respect to the person in front of you. So yes, we're in the hurt business. The objective is to try to knock each other's head off. But I never want to hurt somebody terminally. I never want to hurt somebody to the point where they can't fight again, where they can't go to their family that night, I never want to hurt anybody that bad. Yes, I'm looking for the knockout. Yes, it gets me fired up. Yes, it gets the fans fired up. But I do wish the person gets back up, goes back to his family. Nothing bad like that happens. That's just the martial artist type of way, So
What do you think you would be doing if it wasn't for boxing? And I mean that as like career-wise
Right.
maybe, or what would you be doing? What do you like to do, in other words, besides boxing? Any hobbies, something you like?
I ask myself that a lot of times, and that's why I told you guys earlier. I think it was fate, man. Like God knew where I needed to be before I knew what I needed to be, and He set me on the right track. He put me where I needed to go. Put all the right people in front of me. I mean, I can't sit here on your couch and tell you it was on me. My hard work and my work ethic put me in the position to where a lot of my friends opened doors for me. So I mean, I've been very lucky to have good friends in high positions that gave me opportunities that I don't think I would have ever gotten, So I mean, again, a lot of people tell me, well, you don't give yourself a lot of credit when you say that. It's like you busted your ass to get noticed by the people. It's true, but I don't like to take all the credit. I say I was lucky too. My hard work got those people to notice me. Those people opened doors for me.
Yes.
I stayed in those doors. One of my friends told me one of my other gigs I do is I commentate. I commentate on fights. I go all over. We were just in Colombia like last month. We're going to go to Ecuador recently. So now I'm getting paid for being at fights without getting beat up. So I mean, that's always pretty good. But yeah, it's man, it's crazy.
So you would be a commentator, or you would be a fighter? That would something that interests you, maybe.
I got the job of commentating because of my experience with fighting. So it kind of goes together.
And I was gonna talk about that because I know you wanted to start like a podcast 2 years ago, and man, the details you would go into the fights. I mean, if I was a betting man, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do something like that. Is that something you're still into? Like when if you dedicate yourself more into like that, like commentating fights or like in the prelims and trying to give your
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to say like your I don't know how do you say, I don't want to say something because it's gambling or whatever, but
yeah.
it's just your opinion.
My opinion,
Yeah,
it's my
your
opinion.
professional opinion.
My professional opinion,
Yeah.
correct? My professional opinion, and I love
Yeah.
to gamble safely. You know, I like to,
Yeah,
I
safe
like to, I like to
gambling.
sport on. I like to bet on sports too or whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's something I would like to do. I've even thought about it. I haven't brought it up to my bosses at the promotion I work for, commentating on the fights, but maybe something before the fight or after the fight, like getting to know the fighters, like you guys are doing, like on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like, let's not talk about fight. Let's not talk about the guy you're about to fight. Let's not talk about what you did to get ready, because pretty much everybody already knows. If they're
Yeah.
promoting the fight, everybody knows you're getting ready, you're doing this, you're doing that. Let's talk about you. You know, what do
Yeah.
you do? What have you been doing? So that's kind of like another thing that I thought about bringing, like doing a little show. But I don't know, man. Sometimes I get so busy. I got so much stuff to do that I really don't have enough time to sit down at a desk, edit videos, put them out. You know, so I mean, it does, but it is something that interests me, and I would like to play with it a little bit more. You know, so
Yeah, it was good. It was good,
Yeah,
man. I
yeah.
like that. I like the setting, everything. You
Yeah.
have the belts, everything. I'm like, yeah, that looks fucking
yeah,
dope.
man, yeah.
I like that, man. I hope you
Nice.
can do that, bro.
I'm gonna
And
try
on
to,
your
man.
spare time, as much as you can.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, and I don't want to even put it on fights, man. You could do like overall, like
Overall
you know,
stuff.
yeah.
Man. Yeah, I do a little movie reviews too every once in a while, but I just do those on typing. I don't put an actual video.
Oh, okay,
Every
okay.
time I put those movie, I call them not so professional movie reviews by a local. That's what I call it. It always gets a good turnout, man. Everybody loves it because I'm basically just reviewing the movie as somebody as a fan would, you know, like somebody like just me and you, and not a professional guy with the professional. I was like, hey, you know, this movie flat out sucked, like, you know, like, so stuff. I usually get a pretty good turnout of that. So I was like, yeah, man, maybe we could do a podcast about that too, you know, movie reviews, stuff like that, you know. But I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff flows through my mind, and at the end of the day, it just goes back to like, all right, we got to go train, and we got to go train this person, and we got to go. So yeah, man.
How many years have you had your gym open?
We've been serving Laredo since 2009, man. At the location I'm in right now, we're going on 5 years, but we've been in Laredo since 2009, man.
2009.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a lot of learning too. I'm pretty sure from the day you opened to now, you've learned a lot of stuff that you didn't know when you opened. So, how do you keep these kids kind of motivated or trained? Because I'm pretty sure there's times where they don't want to go. Se agüitan. What's that motivational stuff that you give them to keep coming back?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I mean, absolutely. And I got to give my wife credit for this next one, because for about 2009 till maybe about 4 years ago, I never saw any profit. I never saw any profit. And even till this day, I'll tell you the same thing. I know a lot about fighting. I mean, I've spent all my life in fighting, martial arts. I could teach anything to anybody, you know, as far as martial arts goes or fighting. But I don't know the first thing about business. I don't know the first thing about business. And that was hurting me. That was what was hurting me. I mean, before my wife came into the picture, I didn't have a bank account. My bank was a shoebox, you know, so that was my bank, you know.
That's
So,
the best bank. That's the best bank, by the way. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know.
Safest.
Like that was my mentality. I mean, I didn't know how to set up accounts. I didn't know how to set up systems. I didn't know any of that, you know. So my wife, which has a business degree, came, took over, and next thing you know, it was just profit. So, you know, I mean, she sold the product. You know, I was a product.
yeah.
I didn't know how to sell it. She sold it. I was getting by just by my name, you know, because I mean, I have a name, so people knew who I was. So I would make just enough to be able to keep the doors open, keep the lights on, you know. Sometimes I struggled, man. Sometimes I didn't even have a location. So I had to go to friends. Shout out to Raimundo Gonzalez, the ex-owner of F-Bar. He opened up his doors for me, and he would let me use F-Bar before 8 or 9 p.m. before the doors open for the club bumping. So I would roll out my mats there in the afternoon, get my classes, teach there. Then like at 8, 9 p.m., roll up the mats, sweep, clean up for him, because then the club's going on, you know? So, I mean, I did that for about a year and a half, because I couldn't afford an actual place, pay the lights. But that got me enough to, again, little by little, save up, and then again, I was able to get my own position. But yeah, man, we've been through the ringer. We've been through having no locations to everything, man, and a lot of the people stuck by me, man. You know, so that's awesome. I'm grateful for the people that stuck. I still have some of those clients that were with me back in those F-Bar days that are still with me right now, man. So yeah, man. Yeah,
But like you said, you're the product. It
Yep.
don't really matter where we're at. It's my backyard.
I'm the product. Yeah,
bro.
we just needed somebody to know how to sell the product, you know, and that was my wife. You know, she put systems in store, and now we have more than one bank account. I was like, oh, I guess like I you know.
Voten por Gómez. Está muy joven, está muy inteligente el hombre, muy respetuoso el muchacho. Necesitamos una persona así para que esté en esa posición, ese lugar. de Constable. Y necesitamos una joven así que ponga los pies en la tierra para que nos ayude a salir adelante y es lo que necesitamos. So, vamos a echarle ganas y vamos a apoyar a los muchachos.
Con el apoyo de todos ustedes, voy a ser el contestable más joven en la historia del condado de Webb.
I look forward to serving you as your next constable for Precinct 1. Thank you.
So COVID, we couldn't do much, right?
Correct.
So were you like at home, munching out, doing a lot of that stuff that you don't normally do, or did it not affect you at all in that way?
Not really, man. I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody. I don't really go out. I'm a sports fanatic, like we were talking about earlier, the gambling and stuff like that. I love my Buffalo Bills. I like my Texas Rangers. I love my Dallas Mavericks. You know, so that's my idea of going out. Let's say there's a Buffalo Bill game on Sunday night or whatever. My wife, hey, let's go out. We'll go have a couple of beers, some wings, watch a game. As soon as the game's over, come back home. That's my idea of going out. You know, I'm a homebody, so I stay home a lot. I love to eat. I love to eat junk food. That's always been my kryptonite, man. I mean, pizza, tacos, Takis, chips, Cokes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I love to eat, but I'm also very disciplined in my regimen of working out. It's to me, it's not working out to look good or whatever. It's already my lifestyle. Like, that's what I do.
You heard him, man. He said no tamales on Christmas. No tamales on Christmas.
It's if you're training for a fight, bro.
I couldn't imagine,
If
bro.
you're training for a fight, bro, there's no.
Yeah, I got you.
The sport we do, man, is the only profession in the world, boxing and mixed martial arts, where your weight determines if you're gonna get paid or not.
Yeah.
So it's if I agree that I'm gonna be 155 the day before the fight, and I show up and I'm not 155, nobody gets paid. I don't get paid. My manager doesn't get paid. My trainers don't get paid. The lady that made all my food doesn't get paid. Nobody gets paid.
The whole training camp just goes there.
So that's why your weight matters, man. Yeah. So that's why it's a huge sacrifice to do that, because you sign in a contract. So it's like any professional job. You sign a contract. The contract is bind. It's a legal contract. So this contract says you got to make so and so weight. If you don't make that weight, you're not getting paid.
Have you ever had to like cut like a drastic amount of weight or even add an amount of weight?
I cut a lot of weight, man.
Yeah,
I would my normal walk around weight, even now, it's anywhere from 187 to 190. That's my normal weight. That's what I walk around with. I fight at 155. So so I would drop all that weight, like, and it's the older I got, it got a lot harder, man. Now I don't mind taking fights at 170, you know, but when that's those 40-pound cuts, 35-pound cuts. Wow. You could feel it, man. And yeah, man, it was tough. That was something I would do regularly. Like it's like, you know, regularly you cut during the first. Ideally you want to have a fight camp that's about 6 weeks. Anything over 6 weeks is good. 8 weeks is much better. So I mean, those first 6 weeks, you're gonna take the first 3 weeks or whatnot to diet, start training. You're probably gonna lose about 15 to 20 pounds of proper training, proper diet or whatever. You're gonna lose 15 to 20 pounds. You got another 10 pounds, 15 pounds to drop. You drop those the last 2 weeks of the fight. That's when you start carb depleting. That's when you start taking your liquids away. That's when you start taking all of that stuff. That's called weight cutting, because you're getting all your water out, you're cutting your carbs and all that. So that's where you make the last bit of weight you got to make. That's usually the toughest, man. But after you make weight, you drink water, you eat, you balloon up 10 pounds real quick.
Yeah.
You know, so that's not a problem. But
Hey, you see fighters like right after they fight, man, they got burgers, sneaker
oh, yeah,
bars, and all
man.
that.
Yeah,
right?
you got to, man. You got to.
What's the craziest thing you ever seen, like someone eat after the fight or something like that?
Well, I mean, the higher levels of poor guys, you still want to keep it clean, because I mean, you got to understand, you've been keeping clean for about 6 weeks.
You can't
8
go
weeks.
straight to the
yeah, porque you get the chorro like, you know, like, and you don't want to fight with chorro, bro. You know, you don't want to fight with chorro, bro. So yeah, even after that, you know, I mean, I was always a pasta guy, like a pasta with some chicken. You know, that was always me. The day of the weigh-in, my stomach was so close that I still wasn't able to eat. I was always very thirsty, but I wasn't able to eat. The following day, the day of the fight, my routine was always I would have a huge breakfast, like big fucking breakfast, because by that time you already got your appetite. So you eat, and after breakfast, I wouldn't eat anything till after my fight. But I'm talking about big breakfast, man. If I fight here locally, you're talking about going to Denny's. I'm going to order the 3 pancakes, I'm going to order the chilaquiles, and I'm going to order 2 tacos. And I'm gonna kill it. So that's an top big breakfast, bro.
Would you say that's the best breakfast? I know you fought a lot of different places. Would you say that's the best breakfast, like the one you had, or what's the best breakfast you ever had, like the king of breakfast? Because I know you fought a lot of different places, man.
It's because I love Mexican food, bro. It's kind of hard to compete with Mexican
You've been,
food.
that's true.
You've been to
bro.
Mexico?
Yeah. I'm Mexican, man. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to compete with those chilaquiles, those tacos, man. I mean, it's kind of hard. Don't get me wrong, man. I like those biscuits, those pancakes with that bacon, man. Don't get me wrong. I like it just as much as the next, but You can't compete with those huevos rancheros, those chilaquiles, those tacos, man. I mean, come on, bro. You
Días de harina, quemadita así.
bro. You can't compete with that, bro.
Do you eat a lot of fast food like Whataburger, pizza?
Yes.
Yeah, you like
Yes.
that?
You're always on the go, right?
Yes, man. I'm always on the go. Like if I could knock on anything about myself, it's my eating habit. Like I have a horrible eating habit. A lot of my clients and everything tell me, "Oh, can you write me a diet or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, just write me what you do." I was like, "You want me to do it? Like tell you what I do, or you want me to give you something
What
that
you
you
should
should
do,
do?"
yeah.
Yeah, something. You should. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I tell them it's because I have horrible eating habits, but. My job is basically to be at the gym all day. So that's one of the benefits. I could work out 2-3 times a day because I'm literally at a gym all day, you know. So that's why I could get away with eating fucking a double water burger every day with papitas and everything. But I bust my ass every day.
And
So.
I don't know what athlete I heard say. I think it was Chad Ochocinco. He said it doesn't matter what you eat. You can eat whatever burgers and stuff as long as you work out. How true is that? You think that?
It's all about calories, man.
Yeah.
That has always been my system. It's always about calories. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound, like on an average person, more or less. So it's just math, you know. No me voy a tragar 3,500 calories. Y si me las voy a tragar, I got to make sure I'm doing something.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to eat more than 3,500 calories and be on a fucking couch all day,
Yeah.
you know. You're going to gain weight, you know. So that's it. Like put some in, take some out. Put some in, take some out. And you get balance, you know. That's usually what I do is just balance. Yeah, I'm gonna eat a burger, but I'm gonna go run 5 miles. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some potato chips with pizza, but I'm gonna go spar later, you know. So it's like,
Yeah, it don't matter then.
balance.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
balance.
What are your favorite
Balance.
fast food restaurants?
From here, from Laredo,
Yeah,
man.
from Laredo.
Man, I got Taco Palenque is one of them, of course.
It's
And the
everybody.
Tampiqueña, bro. I don't mess around. I get the Tampiqueña from Taco Palenque. A little bit of everything. You get the fajitas, you get the enchilada, and you get the crunchy taco, bro. So you get a little bit of everything.
No, the
You get yeah, Tampiqueñas are always good, man. And believe it or not, bro, I don't know why I have this fascination with the McDouble. The
McDouble?
The McDouble, just that 99-cent burger.
Same here.
yeah, yeah.
Same here.
I love it, bro. I don't know why I love it. Like, I'll go to McDonald's. I won't order a double quarter pounder. I won't order the 20 piece. I'll order like 2 or 3 of those little McDoubles. I love them, bro. I don't know why I love them. I love
That's
them.
my addiction too. I go get 2 McDoubles, I'm set.
I love
But you
them,
know
bro.
what I learned right now? I learned that they changed it on us.
Yeah.
Now they have the double cheeseburger.
What? Yeah.
So now I get the double cheeseburger because the McDouble only has 1 cheese.
Ah.
Yeah. So you can burn the calories anyway.
I'm falling behind.
Get the double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger.
It's gonna give you like it's blowing your
Oh,
mind.
all right,
that
all
just
right.
happened to me like a month ago.
Really?
After all this time of eating McDoubles, I thought that was the same shit.
It was the same
no,
thing.
no,
The
they
extra
took
cheese.
Yes, it matters.
It
makes a
does.
difference.
Yes, it does.
It makes a
I
difference,
agree.
bro. Oh my god.
I'm gonna try that right now.
Fucking
I'm gonna
McDouble.
try that right now.
McDonald's ain't right. I'm going straight there right now too. Bro. You
I'm gonna try
guys
that
are the
right now.
drive-through.
But yeah,
I
man.
know you mentioned training though, and do you train? You don't just train for MMA. Do you do like also training for like weight loss and stuff like that as well?
Absolutely. That's usually what I do in the mornings, man. My first clients, I work from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then I get a little break. Then I come back from 5 to 9 p.m. From 5 a.m. to 12 p.m., all I'm doing is clients, one-on-one clients, and it's regular people, normal people. Like people always call me, I don't want to fight. Well, I don't want you to fight either, man. You know, like it's like, I don't want you to fight. No, but yeah, it's for everybody, man. It's a picture CrossFit. You know, you're leaning out, you're losing weight, you're doing fitness, but you're doing something different than going to your regular gym. Regular gym isn't for everybody. You know, some people don't like being on a treadmill. Some people don't like lifting weights next to all those meatheads, or, you know, some people are looking for different ways to lose weight. Kickboxing, boxing is an amazing way to lose weight. You're working out all your body. You're doing an amazing, crazy amount of cardio and all this stuff. And at the same time, you're learning a life skill. You know, you're learning something that could save your life, potentially save your life or anything, you know? I mean, yeah, it's CrossFit. What are you going to do if somebody attacks you? You're going to lift them or whatnot? You know, so I mean, you're getting all the fitness you get at any of the gym, and you're learning how to protect yourself, man. So it's a win-win. But yeah, we see everything, man. I have doctor ladies. I have a lot of border patrols. I have a lot of customs. You know, usually the people that just want to fight are the ones that go to the night classes. But the people I see in the morning are just regular, everyday people, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
And I did see a video of someone had a weight loss journey with your academy, man. That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's different because now at the gym, everyone's taking pictures. Everyone's flexing in the flex. Everyone's flexing out there, and it's cool and everything. But man, it's very, very, very like,
Times are changing, bro. Times are changing. I remember back in the
someone
day.
to go to the gym like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Intimidating. That's what it is.
Exactly. It's intimidating for the new person that's not
Yeah.
used to that. It could be very intimidating. You know what I mean? You're at my studio. It's just me and you. You know, unless you take another group. So I mean, there's no body shaming. Nobody like you don't feel intimidated. It's just me and you. You know, we're learning at your pace. I mean, I've been doing those for so very long. So I do push my clients, but I know how far to push them. You know, I'm gonna push you probably to throw up. Maybe you're gonna feel like you're gonna pass out, but you're not gonna pass out. You know?
It's borderline.
Just a little bit, but it's like I tell everybody, it's not gonna be easy. But I mean, it's losing weight. It's not easy. You know, losing weight it's not easy.
Tough.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I know that's something that's important for parents too, like for them to be able to defend themselves. Do you offer that for
Yes,
kids'
yes.
classes?
We have kids classes Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The youngest we take them is 6 years old. From 6 years old to up. Once they get to 13, they go to the regular adult classes. But yeah, man, we have a pretty good kids program. We throw them in the cage. They spar. Yeah, if you look up us up at that Laredo kickboxing page, there's a lot of videos of the kids classes. There's videos of them in the cage. You know, they're doing takedowns. They're doing submissions. They're beating each other up. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's part of my curriculum too. I mean, I make sure I let the parents understand. You know, it's mixed martial arts is very different than karate, taekwondo.
Yes.
You know, and and I sound like a douche sometimes when I say it, but I'm being honest. It's like if you're taking your kids to karate or taekwondo to learn self-defense, I'm sorry, but they're still gonna get picked on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You bring them
I've
with
seen
me.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
You bring them with me, they're not gonna get picked on because what we're doing is real fighting. Any real combat sport, you're talking about boxing, you're talking about kickboxing, you're talking about wrestling, college wrestling, even jiu-jitsu. Those are what you consider real combat sports. Those are good for self-defense. That's what I tell parents. If you don't like what I do, look for that. Look for a boxing gym, look for a wrestling gym, look for a jiu-jitsu gym. That's real self-defense, you know? Karate and all that, I mean, it's a business, you know? If you could have somebody be a black belt in less than a year, I mean, come on, you know, like that.
Yeah.
That kind of, you have.
I'll vouch for that. I'm like a yellow belt when I was like 8 years old. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
would pre-cut the wood. I'm like, I broke that in half.
You
I'm
see
like,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a business, and I mean, it's a beautiful art. It's a beautiful art. I give it to that. It's Taekwondo's Olympic, karate's Olympic. It's a beautiful art, but it's not very effective in a real street self-defense situation. It's not real effective, and that's the truth. I mean, a lot of my friends are black belts in karate, black belts. I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and I'll tell you the truth. I probably only use like maybe 3 or 4 techniques in my whole arsenal that are Taekwondo. You know, the rest it's useless.
Because there's different things, right?
No,
I mean,
yeah.
there's so many. What do you study specifically, or have you studied other types of everything?
You got to. I mean, the name of our sport says it all. Mixed martial arts. You know, so it's a mixture of everything, and it's up to the martial artist to put it together. You know, nowadays when I started coming up, man, and all your old school MMA fighters, it was like me, man. I started off at a kickboxing gym. So then, if you wanted to learn wrestling, you had to find a wrestler. You had to find somebody, go to his gym. If you wanted to learn jiu-jitsu, you had to find somebody else jiu-jitsu, go to their gym. So it was always, you would always know more of something else than you would be rounded. Nowadays, you have all these young killers that you see in the UFC, all these young guys coming up, they're killing everybody or whatnot. They're like my kids at the gym. You go to bed, it's like, what's your base? What did you start with? MMA. Like they know everything. They know wrestling. They know jiu-jitsu. They know boxing. They know kickboxing. So it's not just, I'm just really strong at this one thing and I'm okay at these other things. No, they're starting at a young age with everything. So that's why you get all these killers now, man. It's MMA is a young man sport right now. You got all these young killers on the UFC, Bellator. They're
It's
coming
global,
up,
and it's going global.
Oh, yeah.
It's the popularity is there, and that's what I was saying. Back in the day, like for example, people are saying the UFC and all that. Back in the day, like the people coming in the UFC, I mean, they were very few, and there weren't people like right now that are training their whole lives to be in the UFC.
Exactly, yep.
You know, like that, and that's beautiful to see.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I'm sure you're seeing it, but
sure.
that's what people need to get. In that retrospect, I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago when you were fighting, it was a different game.
different.
And all these Bellator, all of them could have been, it all could have been that one.
Yep.
It just decided to be UFC.
Yep.
right? That's what people don't understand. But man, you see these guys training their whole lives for that,
Oh, yeah.
bro. So they're 8
Hey,
years
so
old.
what do you think about Jake Paul and the Logan brothers fighting and all those influencers
yeah.
fighting, and then Mike Tyson fought somebody recently too? Like, what do
Yeah.
you think about all
Look,
those
man,
fights?
it's the way I see it is get your money. You know, if you know how to get your money and you're getting it, get your money. Do I consider him a real fighter? No. Do I consider what he's doing honorable or whatever? No.
Yeah.
He's getting paid, but you can't hate the man. He's getting paid. He knows how to promote himself. He knows how to push himself. He knows how to talk the right shit to the right people. He's getting paid. So I respect the fact that he's getting paid. Do I like him as a human being? No. Do I like what he's doing? No. You know, do I think he's a real fighter? No. But I respect the fact that he's getting paid very, very, very well for what he's doing. So I can't dog him. I can't talk shit for that because I'm not getting paid that. You know, so I can't talk shit about that. You know,
The
but
Logan brothers come and ask you for a fight. What are you telling them?
right away, yes, right
here.
away, yes, man, right away, right. I'll take half of whatever you're giving everybody else, and then I'm down. I'm down. I'm down, man.
So much money coming in, I need an umbrella. G shit, Ray Liotta, I'm a good fella. Jesus face on my neck and it's all yellow. You don't wanna be a bowler, you a coat teller. Me and fellow two kings, you a soul seller. And we know no rocket club like it's Coachella. Champagne on my hood with a chrome letter. The way we whipping dope, we should get a gold medal. I'm talking meeting after meeting till I can't meet. My schedule busy, so I'm tracking like an athlete. 20 years, 20 tapes, that's a rap sheet.
But yeah,
And no, and the community of boxing is not forgiving either because he looks like he can't even get a fight right now.
Yeah, it looks
And he
like
got a lot of money behind
Oh,
him.
yeah.
And the guy, man, he had a whole training camp, and the guy just, boom, they had the weight class issues.
yeah. Well, it's because he's fighting people that are not boxers.
Yeah.
that's
Have him
what's
fight a
going on.
boxer, and yeah, man, you fight a real boxer. He'll make the weight. He will get the money. You get it's because that's the thing.
Yeah.
You're fighting people that aren't used to again what we were talking about earlier. You're bind to that contract. And so this guy's another YouTuber. I don't care about this contract, whatever. You know, as a fighter. That's all okay. This is what they're giving you. You sign it. You're bind to that. You know, you got to show up this date at this weight class because if not, you're screwing all your team over. Not just you. You're screwing all your team over. So I mean, you do that to a real boxer, real fighter. I mean, we're gonna jump on that. Yeah, we're gonna take $1 million for a fight. Hell yeah, dude. That's like,
Exactly.
I'm on it. You know, like it's like. But yeah.
There was expecting a payday and it didn't
Yeah.
work out. Oh my God.
I was a little disappointed with the Mayweather and the Paul Logan. Did y'all see
Yeah,
that fight?
yeah,
That was a little
yeah,
disappointing.
yeah.
It didn't look like a real fight.
It's because they're not, man. They're exhibitions. You know, even the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, that was an exhibition, but he kind of started letting go. He kind of got a little excited.
Hey,
But that's Tyson.
That's what we want to see. Once you're in there, I mean,
That's Tyson.
That was a
let
good
me give you this. Let me give you this one. Who you got your money on? Jake Paul or Masvidal?
Oh, Masvidal, bro.
Yo, yeah.
On a boxing match?
Masvidal has very, very beautiful boxing, man. Masvidal has very beautiful boxing. I'm a striker by heart. I like fights on the feet,
Yeah.
and that's usually what I look for the most. Masvidal has very, very beautiful boxing. He got caught with Kamaru. You know, he underestimated him, put his hands down. He wasn't expecting that punch to come from. Shit, neither was I. You know, like I was like, whoa. You know, I wasn't expecting that punch to come out of him. You know, but Masvidal is a real good boxer. He's a big boy too, man. I mean, he fights at 170, but you're talking about him walking around close to like 200, 210 pounds. So he's a big boy too, man. So I mean, it's I think Masvidal would take him, and Masvidal is a dog. Masvidal can get hit and not back out. You know, most of these other YouTubers or other these guys, even Ben Askren. Ben Askren is just a flat out wrestler. You hit them, they're gonna cower out. You know, people don't like to get hit. But you got people like Masvidal, you got people like the Diaz brothers or whatnot. These guys are dogs. These guys don't mind getting hit. You hit them, they're gonna come back, still hit you. You know, so Masvidal is one of those people. He's a dog, man.
Hell yeah.
So I think that's gonna factor in if they do fight, man. So
Yeah, the Diaz brothers though, man, they bleed too fast,
yeah.
bro. Like
Too
you
much
get
cut
blood on
tissue.
yeah, they'll be matching color with the gloves. And that. Oh yeah.
too
But
much scar
damn,
tissue,
bro.
man. That too much scar tissue that'll do that to you, man. Yeah.
If Canelo fights Mayweather, who do you think's winning?
Both on their prime, because I mean they did fight back in the day, you know. And I mean
it's a rematch.
and, I mean, if they do fight, or if I think Canelo takes them now. But if they both fought in their prime, man, that's a good one. I think I think I'd still give the edge to Mayweather, man, because I mean he's pretty hard to hit,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, man, that's a good one. Both in their prime, yeah. If they fight right now, Canelo wins right now.
Yeah.
But both in their prime, It's tough.
a hard
man.
question.
That's a tough. One.
But you ain't gonna have no influencers gonna do it like MMA. I mean, they're gonna do boxing,
Oh,
of course,
of
exhibition.
course,
but man,
course.
I don't. Do you ever? You don't see like anybody like Tilly going in the octagon. Like,
Of course.
even there, the money might be there later on. What do you think of the fighter pay going on? Like, about do you think fighters should be getting paid more than they are now, or? I mean, what do you think? There should
Absolutely,
be,
man.
yeah, yes, sir?
Especially my sport, we don't get paid as good as boxers. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Even at my level, you know, I'm not higher UFC level fighter, but I'm not your lower class level fighter. I'm in the middle grade fighter. If you put that with the boxing too, boxers that are on my level too, they're getting paid way more than I do per fight. You know, I get most of my money out of my sponsors, so that's where I get most of my money off of. I actually make way more money than I do for what they pay me for my fight off of my sponsors.
Exactly.
So that's where I get most of my money. But a lot of fighters don't have that. You know, a lot of fighters don't know how to what do you call it? Market themselves to get sponsors or whatnot. So they basically just live off of the paycheck that they give you. And that's not good, man. Even the UFC, you're talking about entry level UFC fighters. Let's say I get a UFC fight tomorrow. My starting pay is 10 grand per fight. So that's what you're getting. You still got to give 30% to your manager. Maybe another 20% to the gym you train at, you know, maybe another 10% to your coaches. So you're going to be left with maybe 50 to 40% of that check you get. Out of $10,000, bro, that's nothing. You know, that's nothing. You know, so
Yeah, so they're making money.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're going
Dana
global right
White,
now.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, they're making a lot of money.
Yep.
And they give you the $50,000 bonus for like fight night.
Fight of the night.
So that just shows you that they do have the potential to give $50,000 extra to every
and then
fighter.
it gets taxed. So you're still, then it gets taxed.
yeah.
So
Right, it's a write-off for them.
So you're like, yeah. But yeah, the fighter doesn't take that 50 G's home. He's probably taking like 20 G's, you know, 25 G's. So, yeah, man.
So if anything, maybe Jake Paul, maybe that's what he's doing, kind of disrupting that, if anything, because he's bringing
that would
light
be
to
good.
that. He's saying, hey, pay your fighters this. I mean, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, anything, maybe you need some more guys like that. Maybe fighters, though, right? Not
Absolutely. No,
influencers, but
yeah,
to come
we
out
do.
and do that, just that.
You
man.
do got to respect that.
And right now we
it's
don't have.
awesome.
And, I'm sorry. Right
No,
now we
no,
don't
go
have. And right now we don't have like the legends, like, because the guys we had back in the day. I mean, they came in already kind of old in there, and right now you're gonna see those guys, like you said, work their whole lives for UFC. And if those guys get legendary themselves, and then they speak out of the sport, I could see a lot of changes coming soon. You know, it's just young. It's a young sport still.
It has
You
to.
know?
It has to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Dana White
Mumbling.
just kind of went on his own. He sold the company not that long ago. He sold it to some Chinese people for a couple $2 billion or whatever. So the Fertitta brothers were the ones that were running it. The Fertitta brothers are business people, so they knew all about business. So the structure was kind of changing. I think pay was going to go up too or whatnot. Then that's kind of when they sold it to that new Chinese company or whatever that's going on right now. And the Chinese company has never worked with fighting or with anything like that. So they're kind of just letting Dana White do whatever he wants. Make it a box.
Have you ever thought about being a boxer?
I did. I did about 5 or 6 amateur boxing fights, but I never done a pro, man. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I love to bang. I love to strike. I'm much better striker than I am a wrestler. On
See,
the
that's your
ground.
strength. Is that your strength?
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. I love to bang.
Hey, that spinning back kick you got though. That's a beast, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's a beast, man.
That's one of those.
Don't catch that one.
But yeah, man, I like to buy. And ever since I moved back here to Laredo, my main sparring partners or training coaches have been boxing. So my boxing has improved greatly since I've been back in Laredo about 2009.
Laredo's a big boxing city, man. That's the thing about Laredo.
Yeah, and I'm training with the Gomez brothers. Shout out to the Gomez brothers if they're watching.
shout out,
I've been training with them, and to me, they're the best boxing coaches here in Laredo. You know, I mean, they coach
Very well
the
known.
top fighters. Their style is. I love training with them, man, because it's Cobra and it's Shotgun. It's awesome because when you train with them, bro, because it's like you get 2 coaches for the price of one.
Yeah.
They both have completely opposite end views of what boxing should be. But if you're a veteran fighter or a good fighter, you could put it together and it works for you perfectly, man. Shotgun is more aggressive, more go, kill him, take his head off, hit him with everything you got. Cobra is more technique, calmate, combinations, tap, take it easy. So it's kind of like, which one do I do? Which one do I do? Like, which one do I
Oh wow, that's crazy.
but it's awesome because you get 2 trainers, 2 completely different views of boxing spectrum. You get it in one because they both train you. When you go train at the Gomez gym, they're both gonna train you. You know, one day you might train with Cobra, another day you're gonna train with Shotgun. So it's cool because me as a veteran, you know, I get to take all that in. You know, it's a whole bunch of knowledge, a whole bunch of boxing knowledge. And to me, I mean, boxing's boxing, MMA is MMA. Kickboxing's kickboxing, but violence, fight language, what I tell them is fight language is fight language. We understand each other. Like fight language is fight language. My last fight that I had here at the LEA was a kickboxing fight. And I've given him credit before, and I'm going to go on air and give him credit again, too. At the start of the second round, I got the guy with the flush Superman punch. Like, I nailed him clean, like, beautiful Superman punch. Shotgun called it. Shotgun called it in the corner. During the second, after the first round finished, I was kicking the guy a lot in the legs. Like, I was kicking the hell out of his legs. After the first round, Shotgun tells me, fake the kick, hit him with the punch. I was like, Superman punch. He was like, sí, esa mamada. Because like, there's no Superman punch in boxing. So he was like, sí, esa. So I was like, all right. So as soon as the bell rang, I faked the kick. I got him flush, man. It landed flush. He called it, you know, and it's like I said, he doesn't know kickboxing. He doesn't know MMA. He doesn't know Superman punch, but he knows fight.
Yeah.
So he saw he's going for the kick. His head's wide open. Fake the kick, punch him.
Awesome.
So I give him credit, man. Like that's what I say. It's a perfect definition of fight language is everywhere. You know, you don't have to be the same sport. It's fight language. You know, you understand each other. So,
You had announced that you were going to do your last fight, right, in 2023?
one more. Yeah, we're gonna do one more.
The last run.
One last mixed martial arts fight. I mean, kickboxing. I still do it for fun because it's something I really, really love doing, and I feel like I could keep doing. Keep doing it. That's not until the wheels fall off, you know.
Yeah.
But MMA is very taxing on the body. So I'm 41, man. I mean, it's very taxing on my body, and I feel like I owe it to not only myself, but to the people too. You know, I mean, everybody that's followed my career or whatnot. I feel like I owe them at least one more fight. You know, let it go the good way. And it's gonna be a big deal, man. I mean, we're gonna bring the zone. We're gonna bring the zone to Laredo. It's gonna be a fight that's gonna be televised on the zone, on paper, on the app. We're gonna bring good fighters. You know, of course I'm gonna be on the card as well. So I mean, we're doing everything for Laredo. You know, it's bring the TV back to Laredo. Bring a televised MMA event in Laredo that we haven't had since 2012. Like I said, there hasn't been a televised MMA event in Laredo. There hasn't been a big level MMA event in Laredo since 2012, you know, and I'm just happy I could be a part of and one of the main catalysts of making that happen, you know, making it come over here. So, I mean, I said, man, maybe the city could give me a little pat on the back, you know, what does a guy got to do to get a pat on the back, you know? So, but yeah, man, it's, I'm very excited about that. And more than anything, it's something for Laredo. It's something for the city, you know, I mean, we're a boxing city, everybody boxing, you know. Last time Bellator came, they had a huge turnout, you know, but why haven't we done it anymore? You know, so we're gonna do it this time. 2023. We don't know if it's gonna be. It's either gonna be January, February, or March, but it's gonna be early 2023 for sure, man.
Awesome, man.
Can't-
Put it
I'm
on a
excited
date
to
for
see that.
sure.
Yes,
And
sir.
when that's coming up, and you got a date, come back on here. We'll promote it for sure, man.
Oh hell yeah.
So every time we end the episode, we like the guests to give us a little piece of motivation, piece of positivity to the viewers. Do you have anything to say to everybody that's watching that maybe wants to do what you're doing, mixed martial arts or anything like that?
It's like I said, guys, I'm full of cliches. This is something I tell kids every time I go speak with kids at schools or whatnot. They tell me, what can you say to people that want to follow in your footsteps, follow your career? Don't. It's a very, very tough career, you know, to follow. And it's a lot of give, a lot of giving, and very little that's going to come back to you. If you have the ability of doing something else, being a lawyer, being a doctor, going to school, staying in school is very important. I'm doing this because I didn't go to school, but going to school, staying in school, getting good in your grades or whatnot, you could do anything else and you can, man. But for those few people that decide, you know, like me, that and then I do have some people that I see every day, that you feel like you don't have a way out, that you feel like you don't know how to do anything else with your life. You don't have an education. You're lost. You like combat, you know, you like combat sports, you like to fight, then it's a very, very tough career. But if you're willing to give it, everything you got, it can be very rewarding, you know. And that's not just in fighting. That's a positive message I want to give out. Anything you do in your life, if you bust your ass in it, if you put all your into it, as cliche as it sounds, like they say, you put everything into it, it's going to give. It's going to give, man. Sometimes it takes longer than others. You know, it took me over 30 years to finally start seeing profit, to finally have that nice home, to finally have that nice car, to finally be able to go on vacation, to watch my bills whenever I want to. It took me over 30 years to get that, you know. I would see my friends going on vacations, my friends buying Jordans, my friends all this, and I was still with little shorts, broke out of my mind, but I would work twice as hard as they would work, and I would understand. I was like, why? Like, why am I working so hard and I don't have anything? It's all in due time, man. Just Trust your hustle. Trust God knows the time. God knows when he's going to give you, when you're going to work, and he's going to reward you. You know, you just got to have trust in what you're doing. Trust your hustle. Stick to it, man. Some of us take longer than others. Like I said, some of us are going to take longer than others. But as cliche as it sounds, you stick to your hustle. You bust your ass, you're going to get rewarded, man. Sooner or later, you're going to get rewarded, man. And it's about the positive message I have for you guys, because I'm an example of it, man. I'm a guy that was expected to be dead, expected to be in jail, no education, no job skills. All I do is fight for a living, but my work ethic is undeniable, and thank God I have everything I have because of that work ethic.
That's some wise words right there.
Amazing.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Luke.
Yes, thank you so much for coming out here, man.
Thank you, guys.
Laredo
Thanks.
legend, man, for sure. Peace. For real.